This is my friend Denise. I'm Anni. We are both doing vegan advocacy in different fields though, like France. Yeah, it's what Denise said. I'm more like a street activist and she's more like a breakfast activist. Yeah, so we want to talk about the importance of unity, teamwork in our vegan community. And as we have seen from other movements, breaking a movement can make it stronger also. So it's very important to have different approaches, different methods. As Seb here covered very well in Friday, we see from, like for example, the Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, like working for the same goal, but having different methods, still not bashing each other and so on. So that's what we want to do as well. So we have different ways of advocating veganism. There is street activism, our state movement, AV, liberation, all these different ways. Then we have more things you can do in your private life, obviously. Instagramming, making awesome looking vegan foods, making videos. There's so many different ways we can work with. So the best thing is to find your skill and use it, and also encourage other people to use their skills, what they're good at, to make a difference, to advocate for veganism. Yeah. Should we actually change the slide? Yeah, and so basically, I wanted to talk about competition. Do you feel that there is competition in the ways of doing vegan outreach, and the ways of between organizations or between activists? So is it needed? Is it harmful? I think it might sound like a negative thing, because we shouldn't be doing this for who's going to be best or most successful. In the end, like everything that works for the animals, reaches most audience and so on, is good. I don't think it can be put to order, which is best, and so on. And also, what else does competition do? It makes us improve ourselves. There's an example from Finland of mine. Like my example from Finland, there was a grassroots organization starting up just recently in Finland, and the rounded up organizations, the official ones, there was online comments and posts about these new ways of street activism, and then there was a little bit of someone would take it more like bashing from is this efficient or whatnot, but it seems like jealousy maybe to us or to people who start to do street activism. It seemed like, yeah, these organizations feel threatened that we're going to take over their place and so on. But then, after having a meeting with these people from organizations, then we realized that it's also for just helping out and trying to improve the ways, maybe working together. Yes. So basically, here we come to the importance of communication. It's important to try to talk in person with people you might misunderstand on social media. For example, this is actually quite... now I got lost because I started doing it. Yeah. No, I want to talk about a little bit about the misunderstandings that can happen online. Again, with this this example that I just gave, there was some comments, and when you don't talk in person, you might not see that something is made sarcastically and so on. Has anyone joined Alex Bess's workshop? Which workshop? Okay, so I would definitely recommend doing that if you haven't yet.
There's one next weekend.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually part of it also. Yeah, so he's talking about the importance of the, like, there's 3 V's, visual, vocal and verbal aspects of communication. So, for example, now that I wrote this thing, I should have been practicing it, for example, before just coming here. In the morning I was like thinking, should I just read from a note, or should I just write things down and kind of like read through? And now I'm doing like a mix of both, and that doesn't work. But so when you read something online, that's only a small part of the intentions. Maybe like some people also use smileys, dots, some people don't, and then you might be like, oh, this is really aggressively said or whatnot, but then when you would hear it from the person straight away, then you would realize that's different. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I covered that already. I feel like we should all try to, if we feel like bad about something, if there's rumors and so on, we should just try to resolve it, not by talking online about it, but in person. Yeah. I will actually just mention about benefits of teamwork. Yes, I know. But yeah. What I want to highlight is that let's not talk down on other people's activism, and be mindful about different ways we are doing activism, and remember that something that works for you doesn't work for necessarily other people. And that also some people take breaks from activism, and we should be mindful about that and realize that it's important. People go to veganism in different ways, and we are also active in different ways. Question?
Can we ask questions in between?
Yeah, please do.
How would you deal with, of course there are different forms of activism. What if you saw someone doing something that you, I guess, I was going to say no, but let's say you believe strongly is not ideal. Like, for example, not being love-based and being hateful towards someone. How would you suggest dealing with that? Let's say you're at a vigil and you see someone screaming at slaughterhouse workers that they're murderers and they're pieces of garbage. Like, you know, as let's say leaders in the animal rights community, how should we deal with that? That's a tricky situation, I think.
Yeah.
They might think that's the best way.
We should sit down with that person and talk about and ask, like, what is behind this, and try to work with that. Try to realize if there's some issues here where they are facing, and just work around that, not exclude anyone. Yeah, basically, I feel that I haven't meditated in a few days, so I would rather just listen to Denise. But yeah, basically, I might have something to say in the end.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe you can. Would you like to ask Anni something before I continue? Or we can also at the end do a Q&A. Anni.
Sorry, just like a few questions. So, again, I agree that there's lots of different forms of activism that are necessary. And I think to people like, say, Gary Francione, who's very, disliked by a lot of people because he kind of has this idea, strong idea, of what is the most effective, and he criticizes people to do things that he either sees as not as effective or what's the word I'm looking for? Counterproductive. Let's say that he actually sees as harming the movement. I don't know, like what's your position on that? Like, if you genuinely believe that a group or an organization is doing something that is counterproductive to animal liberation, would you recommend just like letting it go? Would you recommend doing something about it? How do you manage that? Again, I see this being very tricky, really tricky situation. And that question, anybody can answer that question. I'm not trying to put the pressure just on you. It's just like it's I don't know, topic maybe.
I feel like communication is the key, but like if there is no, if something is, actually, that's all you can answer.
Yeah, I would say maybe that you, like Anni said, you want to sit down with that person and talk about why he's doing what he does or she. Because maybe there's something going on inside the person that makes him act that way or her. So I would suggest that, those two persons sit down together and talk about that, and maybe we can help the other person just understand why this person is doing what they do.
In my opinion, for example, I think in terms of content, I would not censor anybody in their activism, but maybe I think it's important to always point out if the nature of the tone is, for example, aggressive. I do think that everybody has the right to point that out and say, hey, you can think, you're free to think and argue anything you want to, but maybe we have to a little bit level down the nature, right? Yeah.
I also have a suggestion. In case this happens, I guess there is like so much suppressed anger of the person, and I would recommend that he do like something like screaming like somewhere else, and because the anger is there, like it will not help him to just say, oh, like calm down, it will be fine. Like the anger will be there somewhere. So I would recommend this person to shout like to the nature or to the tree, or like if there's something like a piece of clothes so it doesn't look so loud. And when the anger expressed, the person is eventually more calm. They can like relate to people more.
Yeah. Also, I think maybe in addition to that, I personally think that I used to be a lot more angry in the past compared to right now. And I think one of the most important factors in that was that I used to be much more pessimistic about the movement. I was not very helpful that it's going to get better. I wasn't sure about the numbers, etc. And I think the more I was actually exposed to data about how many more books are being published and how many more people are going vegan and more vegan products, etc., I became much more hopeful. And with that hope, actually, that somebody is talking bullshit in front of me about veganism mattered a lot less. Because I thought, no matter what you think, the world is going to go vegan anyway. And I think actually seriously hope in that sense, and true data and facts about the movement really help, not only intellectually, but also emotionally. Right? Yes.
I mean, it's a little suggestion I have. Normally people react out of fear and anger due to this. And if you acknowledge their fear and listen to them carefully, you can go deeply into the subject, objective stuff. And you can compare his fears to the realistic thing. for example, if you look at it in an objective way, it's a very important step. Think about it, because it's creating awareness for the animals, for the treatment of them, and so the awareness is rising in the society, and step by step. And by just acknowledging the fear of a person, he's feeling a safe space, he's having a safe space, and you can talk much more objective with the person itself. And it's mostly, in my experience, a really good way to deal with it, so you can have a much more relaxed talk with the person, and it's not about anger and fear, because it feels acknowledged, and it's way easier to talk with them in this way. Like a little suggestion from my side.
Just curious, there's a lot of save organizers in the room, I assume, and I'm just curious if people include something like, I used to do this at briefings, and I've actually forgotten to do it now, but talking about how it's normal, it's natural to feel anger when you're at a slaughterhouse, and I think a lot of that stems from obviously the frustration of what's happening, and we're there, but we can't actually rescue these animals. And I also think that anger is sometimes a defense mechanism for sadness. When people aren't able to express, allow themselves to feel sad and cry, for example, it's an easy kind of way to express this frustration is through anger. So proactively bringing it up, and then giving people the opportunity to say, if you do feel that, then grab somebody, talk to us, and we can just try to proactively address it. I don't know how much of an issue it is. I think as the movement's grown, I've seen a lot of good examples from people. So I think people, when they go to vigils, they don't. It doesn't happen as much. But I remember earlier years in Toronto, people go to vigils and just be yelling, screaming at slaughterhouse workers, and we're like, oh my God, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. So then, how do you address that without obviously offending people, because they might feel that that's, productive for them. Anyway.
Awesome. Should we take some last comments and then I quickly talk through the stuff I have? There were some fingers.
One last
yes.
comment. Oh, yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
For me, it's always important to find out which kind of activism is helpful in which situation, which kind of activism. At the moment, for example, at the vigil or at the cube, that you don't feel attacked personally, but trying to find out what's beneficial in that very situation. That you don't feel attacked personally. If the bystander, for example, is shouting at you or screaming protein or bacon or something like that, so that you try to remain calm and not just see it as a personal attack. Or at a vigil, that you try to remain calm for the animals, because it doesn't help the animals if you're being attacked and if you're fighting with a slaughterhouse worker or truck driver. So it's always nice to see yourself as an animal's advocate, which we are. To remain calm and to remain as calm and positive as possible in that very situation, in every situation. And if you see other activists becoming more aggressively towards slaughterhouse workers or truck drivers, it's also nice to talk to them and say, okay, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to exchange arguments, or are we trying to create some room and some movement for the animals?
Well, I also think we should communicate more, especially. However, when you cannot find the middle ground, as hard as you try, I don't think it's also okay to disagree in the methods, because I don't think it's effective to all the time just point fingers at people you're doing it wrong, and just spread what you think is right.
There's a good point of the efficiency of being right, or do we want to be right or efficient?
Yes.
I just want to say, I think that we need to remember that what's, in terms of this movement, we're fighting against a huge amount of big powers, like corporations and whatever, and industries. And I think all forms of activism is necessary, although some people might not agree with other forms of activism. I think it's important that everybody who is an activist, and everybody should be an activist, that they do what resonates with them best, because they're going to do that best. And I feel like because what we're fighting against is so big, we need to be diverse in our tactics. We need to be diverse in the different kinds of organizations that we're with. And if there's an organization that doesn't resonate with you, or you might not like that, you don't have to participate in that organization. You don't have to be a part of it. But you also don't have to like slander it or anything like that. I think it's important to remember that if you don't like something, then don't be a part of it, but like at least let the people that are doing it do that. Now, some people might feel like some forms of activism might be counterproductive, and like that's understandable. Some people might think that like running around and burning slaughterhouses down is like counterproductive to the movement because it now brings bad names to like vegan activism or something. But essentially, that's also like a necessary part, or I wouldn't say necessary, but I mean like it helps the movement in some way. And I think we just need to be mindful that if we don't like something, let people who do like other forms of activism resonate with what they do. So, yeah.
Thank you, Sky. That was what I wanted to say. Thank you. Okay, now Aisha.
Okay, should I continue? So actually that was a great intro to what I'm going to add a little bit to this, because I'm more of, like Anni said already, office activist, so I'm more a little bit into the organizational part of this. I'm working for two organizations. One of them is Beyond Carnegie. One of the things that we're doing is actually we believe that raising awareness on the psychology of oppression is going to actually help us unite as a movement. Why? Because it seems that there is a common psychology in all forms of oppressions, right? And it's important to understand this, because if we move from stigmatizing Jews to stigmatizing Muslims and into the next, what's the point? Right? So we try to raise awareness in this arena a little bit. And secondly, I also work for Provech. So Provech is a food awareness organization trying to make the world go vegan in various forms. And at Provech, my role is, I'm basically on the board member of the diversity and inclusivity team. And that's a completely different aspect of the same issue, which I'm going to come to in a minute. So basically, am I talking too fast? I'm running out of time. Okay. So basically, two aspects of this is one, uniting different ideologies, and the other one is diversity and inclusivity. So what I mean by that is this, unity of ideologies. Sometimes I feel like, for example, if it's about language, right, Chinese, Turkish, whatever, we all kind of understand and acknowledge our level. Right? I can say I'm A1, I'm a beginner, I know only a few words, and others are experts, they're native speakers, right? And we kind of have this tool to measure how much we know about something. And I feel like when it comes to different ideologies, not only veganism, but feminism, etc., we don't have this exact tool. So what happens a lot in the conversation, I think, is that beginners sometimes think they're experts, right? And experts are being very judgmental sometimes of beginners who just simply don't know. And this makes the conversation often very difficult, and I think that is being an obstacle to uniting different ideologies, which could be exactly what we need. So, in terms of being able to kind of measure how good we know things, I think, again, like I said, one of the main topics where this happens is feminism, racism, and other isms. The conversation becomes very, very difficult, and I think, like I said, the violence is in both ways, right? Some are being judgmental and some are being experts and actually not knowing what they're saying. Social science is called science for a reason, right? We collect data, not only opinions, we collect data and then we interpret them in different ways. And this is exactly the same in mathematics and astrophysics as well. So it's important to understand that some people do not know because they're not familiar yet. And it's also important to acknowledge that some people do know and it's not just a set of opinions. And therefore, this is a very good and important opportunity, actually. Am I too loud? Okay. It's a very important opportunity to learn something new. And why is this important? This is important, I think, on two levels. One is individual and psychological, and the other one is more in terms of strategy and movement. Psychological, how? As vegans, I think very clearly, imagine, for example, I'm with a dog, and somebody tells me, oh, can I ride your dog? I mean, this is really disturbing for us, right? We understand that this kind of discourse is really wrong. And this is a perfect opportunity, I think, to say something, right? You can say, what, riding a dog? This dog is an individual, etc., etc. And when somebody makes a racist or sexist comment, this is, again, a very good opportunity to say something. And when somebody calls you out, when you have said something wrong, it's also a very good moment to learn something from it and not to just dismiss it. Right? We have this experience. Right? When somebody says something wrong about an animal, we feel frustrated about it. We feel frustrated when the other person says, no, I don't care. Right? We want to actually communicate the message. And this is, I think, very important for feminism and racism, etc., as well. This is, on a collective level, a problem. Why? Because, in my opinion, carnism, it's often said that carnism is an ideology and an invisible belief system. I think it is an invisible belief system. I'm not sure if it's an ideology, because I don't think people go home, read books and watch movies and decide that we should actually kill animals and eat them. I don't think it's actually a serious opinion based on science or facts or anything like that. I think it's a matter of participation into a system that people are not aware of how bad it actually is. So this to me is not an active philosophy or a set of opinions. Right? So we're not fighting against an ideology, we're fighting against a participation to a system nobody knows how bad it is. And why do people therefore participate? I think because most people are. So our enemy, in the sense, is a common enemy between feminists and environmentalists, etc. It's conformity. It's conformity to what the majority of people are doing. And therefore, I think for this exact reason, we have to unite as feminists, as people who are in any kind of social justice movement. If we unite, we become a majority. And I think this is our best friend. Once we are the majority, people will really, really shy away from being violent. People are participating because the majority is doing it. And I think, therefore, for this exact reason, our best friends are feminists and environmentalists who don't get the point yet. But we're also guilty of this. Why? Because when actually somebody is trying to tell you something about feminism and racism, as a vegan, a lot of people block it away the exact same way they do it. I don't have enough time. There's not enough resource, right? I know it's bad, but I think you're exaggerating. We are doing the same mistake that environmentalists are doing. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't cost anything. You have to just be more aware of it and stop participating in it. It's like in consumerism, it's often language. And the language is actually making it continue. It keeps sexism and racism alive. So, once we have the majority, personally, I believe when we unite, we're the majority, and I think we are going to very quickly transform society into a vegan, environmentalist, fair trade, sustainable one, etc., etc. Alright, you can, yeah. The second part of this is more of my work in progress, is diversity and inclusivity. So, let's be honest, we are incredibly white, and, and we are 75% female. And this is a problem. I mean, our demographics are shitty. You know, I mean, look at how many of you identify as somebody from the third world country, kind of. That's not a lot, considering we're in Berlin, and at least 5% of Berlin is only Turkish. You know, in the sense of we are dominantly white, we're dominantly middle class, right? And like I said, female. And this is a problem why I think actually yesterday was really funny. I was talking to my friend about what I'm going to say today. And I said the demographics are shitty and we have to do something against it. And I was like, why? I said, well, we're white and female. And she says, so? And I was like, great, you know? And I'm thinking, so imagine you're walking on the street and you hear this amazing music and there's a party and you go there and you look through the door and it's only black people. 100% black people. And you're there white. Are you going to join the party? What are the odds of you joining the party if you see a group, only female, and you're this guy thinking, looks good, but I guess it's not for me, and you leave. You know, so I don't think we look like a very inviting movement to the whole planet, which we need. And this is, I think, really normal for any movement that's new and fresh and growing really fast. But this is also something to tackle, right? So for example, I think one of the things that to me are most concerning is that even though we're 75% female, most leaders of organizations are male. This is a problem, and we can easily solve this by raising awareness, by talking about it, and by trying to be more diverse and inclusive. One of the things is, for example, I think, and there are many ways, and I don't have enough time and the knowledge to know exactly what to do about this, but one of the things is, for example, yes, Gary Yourofsky is great, and Gary Francioni, etc., but maybe we have to also a little bit include into our literature and discourse vegans of color. There are amazing vegans of color, right? There are amazing vegans also from Lebanon, from Arab countries, etc., that we also have to cite and talk about. This way, we're going to be more inviting also to individuals, right? For example, I work at ProVeg. We are 100 people. I'm the only Turkish. I think that's a problem because we're in Berlin, you know. And so, for example, I see it as my mission a little bit to also talk to other people and not see them as like, oh, they're Middle Eastern. The chances that they're going to go vegan is lower. No, they're just not being targeted, you know. So we have to expand, I think, our target audience as well. And this way, like I said, so these two things that I talk about, one is on a more diversity, inclusivity, individual level of also including different ethnicities, etc. And also different ideologies. So not only to be like, well, I'm vegan, that's enough, but also to include other isms, feminism, etc. Thank you.